My name is Ian and welcome to Planted. In this video we finally start to add new perennial plants to our new perennial border. This is the third video in a series on creating a newly planted perennial border. First one we turned to soil and prepared it. There's a video link in the description. The second episode we looked at plant constraints, plant selection and some design ideas. So now we can finally get our hands in the dirt and start to add plants to our new border. Let's go. This is a trenching spade, and I've had this for many years, and I've threatened to cut it down, I can't tell you how many times. Whole job took me less than 5 minutes. And by cutting down a trenching spade, you end up with the perfect tool for digging and planting small pots in your garden. Typically, they'll dig down 8 inches, maybe 6 inches wide. They can be heavy and very unwieldy, but this one with an angle grinder and a few minutes has got me this perfect digging tool. And now it is time to get to work. I've been looking forward to this day for many months, especially in deepest winter when it's dark and grey and cold outside. And these are the plants that I've been growing in my greenhouse. Now these two plants that we're going to feature right now, one's called Tricyrtis. It's hardy and tough, has a beautiful flower. The other is a very nice Salvia. Now these are hardy, these will grow outside year round, and these are the plants that you can plant earlier than your traditional planting date, which is more suited to those plants that are tender and have come out of a really hot custom greenhouse. So these have been grown cool in my greenhouse. They've put on roots, they've put on leaves, and now it's time to get them in the ground. And it is just such a treat to be able to start this process and share it with you now as we finally start to dig in our border and put our plants in the ground. This is the third in the series of videos. There'll be a link in the description for the other two. But I've got to start off by saying that the whole goal of this perennial border is to encourage you not to recompact your planting bed. Now, this bed was turned over with a special machinery, which you can see in that video. It's called a rotary plow. It goes down about 8 inches and completely alleviates all of the compaction. And we have not stood on that bed once since, and that was over 3 weeks ago. Organic matter was added, fertilizer was added, and really it's a chemistry experiment, because as the temperature starts to increase, the biology and chemistry can start to work, and that fertilizer or organic matter, increased oxygen, is now permeated this entire root zone. And as I come along with my handy-dandy homemade spade, it's not a hard job. It's not back-breaking work. Make yourself a little pit, put in your backfill soil, and then make sure that you get the grades right. And I've already put in all of the Tricyrtis, and they are on the spacing of about 14 inches. Some might be a little bit closer, some a little bit further apart, but that's what we discussed in our second video, the constraints, how to calculate the volume of plants that you need, and how to select the plants that will give you the right look and the right height. And I know this is fast forward, but this whole planting took me 20 minutes. And once you finish your planting, make sure that you get some water on there and you can nicely hydrate the planting. In the second video, we talked about plant supply. Now this is the easiest way to get plants, and that is from your own garden. This is a beautiful peony. It's called Sarah Bernhard. It has spectacular pink flowers, and it's in an area now where it's going to get shaded, and peonies like full sunshine. So I'm going to dig this up, move it to my new perennial bed, but I'm doing it at the time when the plant is still dormant. I can see that we've got little red buds in there, and if you look online you'll see some people will move them in the fall, some will do it in the spring. Different approaches. I guess if the result is that the plant thrives, then that means that you've won. I made sure that I was able to lift this up mid part of March, before there was any sign of growth. You can just see the little red buds, and it is a sizable root mass. Now bear in mind that it's worth putting effort into this because peonies can be expensive. They're slow to get going, very choice, and you may as well use something that you've got. And if it doesn't come from your garden, perhaps it comes from a friend's garden. And then we go on to the reason why that border was prepared all those weeks ago. Because it's so easy now to go in there and dig my planting pit and move this plant the day I dig it. In fact, I moved it the hour I dug it up. It was barely out of the ground an hour, and it was already put back into its new planting pit. So I really want you to see how there's a strategy and a timing and a plan here. By having your bed prepared, you can add plants to it as they become available, as they are ready to be removed from one location to the next location. Now with peonies, make sure that you don't bury it too deep, make sure you don't have it too high. If it gets buried too deep, it really will reduce the flower production. I'm being very careful here to gently loosen the soil, ensuring that I get soil moved up and around all of the tubers that make up the crown of that peony. Very, very important. You don't want any cavities in there. You don't want any air gaps. We want to make sure that plant can quickly take in water from its surrounding area and take in the nutrients. A little bit of time and effort goes an awful long way. And it's very easy to damage the little shoots. So add water to it, add some more soil, add water to it, add some more soil. And what you're doing there is you're washing soil into all those little pockets that need to have soil in them. So don't skimp this. You should water it 2 or 3 times. And if you're able to, and you can add soil on top of that, that is something that you should absolutely try and do. You will not see me stand on the bed. Still, I haven't put any weight on there. And this means that the water that I put on now can be absorbed into the surrounding area. It's not being blocked by capillary action, by compaction in any way. And by gently adding soil to the top of it and adding more water, we make sure that this plant has got perfect contact with the surrounding availability of more nutrients, more water, and organic matter. And there we go. That is our third plant put in its new spot, all because the bed was prepared nice and early. The next plant is called Crinum. It's choice. It's borderline hardy here. We're a zone 7. This is definitely a 7B or even an 8A. And I had it under a thick pile of leaves on a south-facing wall. And I'm a great believer that plants grow better in a container in the ground because they get really good, stable nutrient availability. It's better for me to leave these in the ground and let them get really fat and heavy, as you see here, than dig them up, dry them out, and then try and plant them. So they'll come through the winter, they are ready to be located, they're just breaking dormancy, similar to the peony, so I want to dig them up and get them relocated to their new area before they start to put on any foliage. We are in the middle of April now, days are getting longer, the heat is getting more intense, and these plants will start to rocket. I had 6 or 7 crowns in here, and I'm being very careful to make sure that I find all of them. It's not uncommon to leave something in the ground and it will become a surprise later. This is the area that I'm going to put them in, and if you can do, you want to set them out. It's hard just to dig a hole, stick a plant in there and do it again and get them in the right place. So all you have to do is just take a couple of minutes and set them out. And what I want to have happen is for this planting of these many plants to look as if it's one big planting. And I've talked about that in the second video. So the 2 big crowns will end up being planted in close proximity. Here you see me switching them out. And then the smaller crowns will go around the edge. And if this grows the way I hope it grows, it's going to be spectacular because the flowers really, really are gorgeous. Now, as with the first 2 plants that I put in, the Tricyrtis and the Salvia and the Peony, I'm constantly looking at the grade. I want to make sure they're not stuck up out of the ground, they're not sunk down, and inevitably you're going to end up with too much soil. At this stage, in initial planting, it doesn't matter. You can just move that soil to the side, leave it in place, and you'll be fine. But I'm making sure I get these. These are going to go in the ground, they're going to stay here for many years, and I want it done right. So it's very important to take that little bit of effort. With plants like this, that they're kind of buried, add some stakes, add some water, and that's our first planting. Bye for now.